Hey everybody, Zion over here from Nintendo Life. So about a week ago, I made a video talking about the fact that Kingdom Hearts, the entire series, it's been announced by Squaresoft. Wow, Square Enix. It's been announced by Square Enix that the entire Kingdom Hearts series is coming to Nintendo Switch in the form of cloud versions. And if you're unaware of how that exactly works, what that means is that you'll buy the games and they'll get streamed digitally to your system. You won't own hard copies of them. You won't even own really digital copies of the games. They'll be run on other hardware, and then it'll be streamed to your system. And so Square Enix announced this around the same time when Sora was announced, the main character of Kingdom Hearts. Sora is coming to Smash Bros. And I like I said, I already did a whole video talking about this whole topic. And so what I'm about to share now is relevant to that video. So if you haven't gone and seen that video yet, please go check that out. I'll leave a link to it in the description down below. But basically, in that video, I talked about the fact that a lot of people, including myself, are very upset or bummed out, disappointed at the fact that the Kingdom Hearts series is coming to Switch, but in this cloud version, instead of just running natively on the system. Because it means, with the cloud versions, it means that you'll have to be connected to the internet at all times in order to play the game. So you kind of don't really get that portability aspect by buying into these cloud versions whenever they release. So I reached out to Square Enix and I asked them a couple questions. I asked them, what was the decision? What was the reason to release these cloud versions instead of releasing them natively on Switch? What was there an exact reason? And could we ever expect to see native versions release for the Switch down the road, maybe when at a later date? And lo and behold, Square Enix responded to me, and it may not be the exact answer that everybody wanted, but I think there's a lot here that I don't know if we should speculate on this, but it's interesting. It's incredible that they responded. We appreciate it so much. So I'm just going to go ahead and read you here what they said. So we sent these questions over to Square Enix, and the responses were given to us by Ichiro Hazama, which is the Kingdom Hearts series producer. So the first question I asked was, from an outsider looking in, we've seen other high-quality ports of classic Square Enix games like Final Fantasy X and X-2 run natively on Switch. So what was the reason to release the Kingdom Hearts series on Switch as cloud versions instead of optimizing them to run natively on Switch hardware? And Ichiro's response was, for some time, our director Tetsuya Nomura had expressed his desire to deliver the Kingdom Hearts series to Nintendo Switch players, him having seen and heard the demand, and so a great deal of consideration went into this internally. Bringing these titles to Nintendo Switch proved to be quite difficult for various reasons, including the storage capacity of the hardware. But we're excited that we're able to make it happen for the first time by utilizing the cloud service. Basically, we're just getting a very honest and genuine response from Square Enix about this. The fact that it does make sense that for storage limitations that maybe Square Enix and Disney looked at this and they were like, we're not going to be able to put this entire 1.5 and 2.5 on a cartridge. The download size of this game is just going to be too massive that they I guess that they decided that it wasn't it was going to be more hassle than it's worth. I will argue, and I think a lot of you will agree with me on this, is that I think a lot of us would stomach buying a larger SD card for our Switches in order to have these games running natively on our Switches versus the headache that playing a cloud game could run. But it's nice to know and nice to hear that Square, they thought about this a lot. Clearly, this was a big decision that they made. They said a lot of consideration went into this internally, and that the storage capacity was a thing. So my second question was, we understand it would have been near impossible to get the entire series running smoothly on Switch, but is it possible that Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 and 2.5 Remix could ever be reworked to run natively on Switch later down the road? Is this just sort of a stopgap? And so Square Enix's response was, at this moment in time, the production of a native version is undecided. We believe that the cloud version is currently the best way to deliver the Kingdom Hearts series to Nintendo Switch players, but we are always excited to hear feedback from our fans and want to thank them for all of their support. This doesn't mean that they're working on a native port. It doesn't mean that it's going to ever happen. But the incredible thing here is that Square Enix is not just ignoring us as fans, as people who enjoy the Kingdom Hearts series. I know there's a lot of people out there that have so much passion about this series, and I can tell, especially from all of the comments that have been left on our website and on the YouTube videos, and just even just the amount of views that the last Kingdom Hearts video did, or that we did, the amount of views that it got. You know, we can tell that there's a lot of passion here, and it's incredible to see Square Enix acknowledge that, and to listen and to respond. And you know, maybe nothing will ever come of this. Maybe this is just some thoughts that they're considering for the time being. You know, maybe someone will shut it down. You know, maybe they really won't ever find anybody to run the games natively on Switch. We don't know. But the cool thing here is that Square Enix responded to our questions. They gave us real answers, and they're listening. And I think that's all we can really ask of anyone, because, you know, at the end of the day, I don't think anyone really is, at least I can speak from my own perspective. We appreciate all the work that Square Enix does. Sora in Smash Bros. Is amazing. We're glad that they tried to get the whole series onto Switch through cloud versions. Maybe that's not what all of us want. Maybe they weren't expecting that. And it's nice to hear that they're listening to us, and that maybe down the road, we will get more of the Kingdom Hearts games running on Switch. And, you know, here, all I asked about was HD 1.5 and 2.5 remix. And they said at the moment, you know, a native version is undecided. And I think that's kind of like, it's kind of like them saying, we have no current plans to release a native version of Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5. They could have said that. That's a very cut and dry, copy paste corporate statement. But here they said the production of a native version is undecided. And to me, what that means is that they're still thinking about it. Like, maybe it is, maybe it will happen. Maybe it won't. I don't know. But you should probably all know that I love to be the optimist. And so maybe that means something will happen down the road. Another thing I want to bring up as well that John actually mentioned to me as we were discussing this, is that hopefully Square Enix doesn't charge us more for native versions for anyone who decides to buy the cloud versions. We still have no idea how much the cloud versions are going to run, but it would be an absolutely great thing if, let's say the cloud version, I don't even know, I don't want to put a price on it, but if they do release a native version down the road, it would be incredible if Square could come back and give, you know, that same game out to the people that shelled out the money for a cloud version in the first place. But this is not me telling you to go buy the cloud version, and that hopefully Square Enix will do that for you. That is not what I'm saying here. You know, that's because we have no idea, but it would be a great way to kind of pat everyone on the back who ends up supporting this cloud version in the beginning, because I really want to buy it and try it out, and maybe I'll get a review code and I'll get to try it out that way. But, you know, I don't want to buy it and have it suck, and I don't want you to do that either. So I don't know. There's a lot to think about here, but you know, there's a lot to unpack, even just in these few small sentences. But I think it's just incredible to hear from Square. And I told everybody too that, you know, in that video that we would update you if we heard back from Square, and that's what happened. So yeah, I thank you, Square, for reaching out. Thank you for saying something. I hope a lot of people appreciate hearing this. I never expected to, I don't know, I didn't expect to get a response really at the end of the day, just because I don't know how you could respond to the question I asked, but you were humble and you were kind, and I think that's all anybody can ask. Thank you so much. But of course, feel free to let us know in the comments down below how you currently feel about the whole Kingdom Hearts on Switch situation. Let us know if you don't really care that the cloud versions are coming. Let us know if it's something that you'd buy, or you really want a native version. You know, maybe you really want to support Kingdom Hearts on Switch, but the cloud versions, they're not how you want to play the series. Let us know, because I think it means a lot. We you know, I mentioned in the last video that we did a poll on Nintendo Life about that same topic, and it gained like 7,000 or 8,000 votes, and that's incredible. It's important to have your voice heard, and so, you know, of course, always be passionate, but be kind, be considerate, and get your words out there. But remember, there's always a person at the end of those messages, you know. So so be kind. I've probably already said be kind like 3 times, but you know, just remember we're all humans, and we all just want the best for these series, and I think Square Enix wants that too. So thank you all so much for watching. I'm Zian from Nintendo Life. Stay safe out there. I'm gonna go start some Kingdom Hearts 2, and we will see you next time. Bum,